I'm Callie.
I'm Lauren.
And this is the Book Commenter Podcast.
Oh, yeah. That was so good.
Welcome back, everybody. We are so excited to continue our discussion on Little Woman. And I'm excited to continue on the conversation we had last time because I wanted to say so much, but didn't want to spoil anything.
No.
So now I can actually get into it.
There may be tears. There may be tears. I love Little Woman.
I mean, I want to read a certain section at the end of the episode. We might cry.
I already know. Also, the way the book ended, you guys. It's just so sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
So, as usual, before we get into it.
You gotta stop asking me that question for right now. What books have I read?
Oh, I wasn't even going to ask that.
Okay. I was like, this isn't the question.
Listen, we saved that for the beginning of the month.
Oh, okay.
The middle of the month, we have a pass.
Okay, because I feel like I could remember if we did that last time.
I think we did, but I think it was just because I was feeling awkward and I needed like a segue, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay, because I was going to bring something to the table. I was going to be like, did I read anything? No, but I found an interesting quote.
We don't want to hear it.
Okay. I got to pull up our Instagram, though. I was like, I have nothing interesting to say, so I need to find something that someone else said that's interesting, because have I read anything?
I mean, you read this quote.
I sent this to your dad, actually.
Okay, there we go.
I think I sent this to you. Back to Lord of the Rings.
You just sent it to me.
Because we had talked about this in our podcast episode. Because we were like, well, what was Tom Bombadil's role? And you kind of had like the insight that he was like an angel or something.
Yeah.
It was interesting because you kind of go through the book like, why was that important? And this person broke it down for me in a way that I was like, wow. Like, that is so clever. Like, I had never even thought about that. So essentially, music.
You can hear that.
It said that, so Bombadil is this is from The Culturist, by the way. I like a lot of their posts, and they're like cool. Substack. Yeah, they got good stuff. So Bombadil is a representation of what it means to take pure delight in the world around you, to experience people and things simply as they are without any thought of what they could be or how you could use them. And this is why the ring has no power over him. And how he is able to resist its evil is kind of why Tolkien kept him in there and why he was very important. But I thought that was so interesting, and I really liked this. They did kind of a juxtaposition between Gandalf and Bombadil, and Gandalf is like a doer. Like, he's like doing everything, like he's a guide. And he's like acting, whereas Bombadil is just being, and how there's a place for both. And like, as soon as Middle Earth is saved, and it eventually turns into like, it's supposed to be like what Earth is now.
Yeah.
It becomes like the reign of men or whatever, and all the elves leave and the dwarves stop existing or whatever. Gandalf goes to be with Bombadil because he just wants to be. And I thought that was so interesting.
That is interesting. Well, when you sent that to me, because Lord of the Rings, even though Tolkien will say it isn't, it's a very Christian novel,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
But like the way he set up Bombadil feels very Buddhist to me, because it almost is like Bombadil feels like a Buddha type figure, like the guy who has reached nirvana, and is like made it, and like that's what everybody's like working towards.
And also like what will be kind
yeah
of thing. Like, they're not looking to change what's going to happen, whereas Gandalf is like, if we don't do anything, like bad things will happen, kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, also like Bombadil, he has domain over everything. Like, nothing has domain over him. That's also why the ring doesn't work.
Yes.
It's because he has control of himself completely and everything around him.
Yes, that's true. He's like a steward.
Yeah.
But it's not like a possession.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I really like that notion.
It'd be cool if we're like still going in like 5 years to revisit Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And like kind of see how things have changed.
For us, yeah.
I'd want to go back and redo a couple things we've done at the beginning.
I know. More insight.
When we have more experience.
Maybe we'll have PhDs by then and actually have like...
That'd be cool.
That would be like, this is what our thesis was.
More life experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure. that was just my interesting thought that that I had read, but it was not a book.
That's okay.
But if that was not your question, we could just move forward.
Well, I mean, if we are talking about it, I was just meaning to tell you about this in general.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever heard of the book Gone Girl?
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I was like, I want to read this book.
You missed this on our trivia question.
I know. That's kind of what sparked it. But it's also like a staple book, I feel like. Like tons of people have just read, people like murder mysteries, different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was super popular. And I'm on like my journey, like, why are these things so popular, right?
Oh, yes,
so I read it. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, dang it.
I thought it was so good. I need people who have read it to reach out to me so I can get your opinion on this. Because I actually thought it was really good until I got to the end. Was the dumbest ending ever.
Really?
It felt like she was writing it and just decided one day that she was done. And then just like stopped.
Boo. Boo hiss. Oh, that's so lame.
Like, I like an open ending. V.E. Schwab does a lot of open endings. She did like Addie LaRue, Vicious, like that kind of stuff. She is known for her open endings.
Yes, I'm trying.
And I like them.
Yeah, you like those?
I do.
I think it depends for me. Sometimes I like it, but like Grayson was trying to show me the movie Clue. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
And it's like one of those movies where like there could be like a few different ways that the murder happened. And I was like, no. No. Like there has to be one way that this happened, which is really closed-minded. But like that's just how I am sometimes. So it depends. Sometimes I like an ambiguous ending. Other times I don't.
I feel like it's harder mystery.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I'm like, what do you mean? So you all never figured it out? The murder is still a mystery. Anyways, I don't know.
You know the murder and all that kind of stuff in Gone Girl. That's not the open ending, but if you want it spoiled, I could just tell you.
Yeah,
later.
Okay.
But I was very mad.
That's upsetting. I'm sorry.
It's okay. On a lighter note, I have this new goal.
Oh, okay.
I feel left out of the loop of the romantic-y girlies. The Akatar, Fourth Wing girlies.
She's a hater.
I feel out of the loop.
She's a hater.
And I want to be part of the group because you guys are cool. So
that's really nice that you said that. Because I was like, remember like those 2 episodes where you're like, I can't believe I'm reading these.
Well, I still stand by that.
Which is fine. No. But it is totally fair. But it is a little crushing.
I know.
Because I'm like, well, why do I like them? Like, you know? I'm like, we come from the same cloth, you and I, as far as like reading and like, I don't know. But I like read those and I'm like, wow, these are so great. And then you're like, this is so trash. And I'm like, what?
What do you mean?
I was very hurted.
It's okay.
But also that's just how it. Honestly, it's probably a good thing for this podcast because then people can be in like your camp or my camp or somewhere in between and know that that's okay.
Both feelings are validated.
Yes,
exactly.
Oh,
so
I love your stickers.
Oh, thanks. I'm on the hunt for a romantic book that I like. The one I'm reading currently is called The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovolino. Bovolino.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
How you feel about it?
Yeah.
So the key with you though is they need to create a character that you like.
I know, and I like this main character. I also think there's a way that romantic authors write that bugs me a little bit. It's like a lot of like short, quick sentences.
Oh, you don't like that?
And I don't really like it. Like, I don't know what it is, but I read
dramatic.
It and I'm like, okay, you could put these sentences together and it would sound nicer.
You know what's so funny is I write like that. I'm very dramatic sometimes, but I don't purposely mean to be. I just feel like
it's engaging. Like,
yeah,
but I don't think it's a bad way to write.
It's just like a preference that you have.
Yeah.
That's so. Have you tried Throne of Glass?
No.
Is that romantic-y? I feel like it's not. I don't know because like I feel like if you took the romance out, there's still a plot.
That's fair. Girl, I don't know. I think it's like a YA fantasy, right? Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I wrote a couple notes about why I'm liking it as a genre.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing that I've noticed that romantic does is there's like this level of fantasy that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I feel like the world building, I always struggle with a little bit.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like, I feel like she, specifically in this book, was trying to set up this world, but also wanted to keep things a secret. So she, like, half sets up the world.
Yeah.
That I also kind of had some issues with ACOTAR. Like, I was having a hard time grounding myself in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still liking it. I mean, so far, it's probably like a 3-star read.
Not bad. Not bad. That's awesome. I love how you're doing this. A hunt for a book that you like. Well, once you find it, let me know.
Okay, I will.
Would The Winter's Promise be considered a romantasy?
See, I consider romantasy anything that has, like, strong sexual undertones to it.
Okay.
Like, anything that's got smut to it.
Why not? Just kidding.
No,
well,
but,
Twilight
like,
is not like that. Yeah.
Like, more like smut and stuff is that's like when I think of romantasy. That could be wrong.
Yeah.
But when I think of a classic romantasy book, it's like there's fantasy, but then there's the romance and there's the smut, and like people love it for that.
The romance is the strongest. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Which is, I think, another reason why I have a hard time with it, because I have a hard time not cringing.
Yes, it's hard. I feel like it's hard. That's why it's interesting to read like things like Jane Austen.
Yeah.
Where most of her books are about people falling in love,
Mm-hmm.
or like Jane Eyre or Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Like, it's just interesting how they'd approach it. And then in modern day, it's like very smutty.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But you could find Winter's Promise.
As
Is
romantasy?
I don't know, but I feel like the romance is so small.
Which is sometimes so infuriating.
I know, I did want more.
I was like, okay, I don't mind the slow burn,
mm-hmm.
but I need a payoff, and I didn't get it.
That could be the other reason why I have a hard time with a lot of, like, ACOTAR and stuff like that, is I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted it to slow down.
Yeah.
I love yearning.
Oh,
like, this
yes.
book has a lot of yearning that I'm reading, and
Yes.
I think I like that.
Longing for them. I think A Winter's Promise did it very, very well, but the ending got too, like, metaphysical. I was like, whoa, we are on different planes here.
Yeah.
Of this, like, it was a drug trip.
Fair.
And I thought it was interesting, but also it was an open ending that I did not like.
See, I liked it.
I hated it. I finished it and I was like, why did you make me read this? And Callie was like, I forgot how it ended. And then I think you reread them or something.
I didn't end up finishing it, but I
like remembered.
I like was remembering it as I started it, and I was like, oh yeah. That's
I was like, I hate this. This is the worst. But
yeah. So let us know. Do you like open endings?
Yeah, I don't know.
I like them.
It can be hit or miss.
I usually do. I feel like Little Woman kind of had an open ending.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I feel like you had no other ending, though, really.
That's
like,
fair.
they keep going. But it did a lot more, like, this is how all of their lives looked in the years down the road.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it was like, and then it ended with, like, their mom, I think.
Yeah. That's true.
What was it? Like, this is what it means to be rich or something. Essentially along those lines.
Yeah. But this might be skipping ahead to what? Hold on. Oh, my girls, however long you may live, I can never wish a greater happiness.
That's what I'm just.
Okay, I was gonna wait to ask this question, but since we're just talking about it, I feel like she didn't end it the way she wanted to end it, and I think you can feel it reading the book.
Really?
I feel like you can feel that she wanted the ending to be different. Like, the whole Joe starting a school for boys and getting married, it felt so against Joe's character that I had a hard time, like, figuring out what was going on. And so when I was doing more research, that I since learned that she wrote the book in 2 separate volumes. Like, when they grew up was a totally different one.
Yeah.
I feel like she was influenced by other people and, like, changed her characters a little bit. And I didn't really like it. I didn't love the ending. I don't know. Like, I was loving the book until they got older, and I thought Amy and Meg, like, each individual was nice, but once they got back together at the very end, I don't know.
Was this your second time reading it?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not get that.
Okay.
My experience is very different, actually.
Yeah.
Mine was, well, I don't know if I could feel it. It was a different experience, too, because I listened to it. That's just, I
listened to it too.
Yeah, I was just in the stage of life where I'm just listening to it. So I feel like it'd be interesting to have read it and then listen to it, knowing kind of like, paying attention to other details.
Yeah,
because there was just things that I'm like, oh, like I didn't know this, or like I didn't know about this. How like they went through like Meg's life and then they would switch back to Amy. I mean, I guess they did that in the movies, but like
it was different.
It was different. I felt like Jo was not as abrasive as a person compared to all the movie adaptations. I was like, oh, Jo is like so much more chill.
Yeah.
she's passionate and she has like large ambitions, and she doesn't want like her family to grow up and leave, and she doesn't want things to change. She doesn't want things to change. And that's like a huge part of her personality. But she wasn't like as mean to Teddy, like as I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
As like or Lori.
Or Bear.
Yeah, or Bear. At all. Like she took the feedback. She was like, oh yeah, I make
liked that
sensational stories and I need to be better.
I think I prefer that.
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, Jo, I just liked Jo better in the book than I did in the movies, because I feel like in the movies she seems a lot more childish. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the book, I feel like you can tell like the whole time she's really working on her temper.
Yeah.
Like her whole time. And I love what the sisters say. They're like, we love it when Jo gets mad, because then she's such a saint afterwards, because she's trying to make up for being a jerk. And so I feel like she was a lot more different, but I also can see, I don't know, it felt realistic to me to like, if I put myself in Jo's shoes, for her to eventually want to have a family of her own.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like that wasn't an ending she wouldn't want. But you totally probably picked up on it, and she was just doing it for her audience members and like who she was catering to, and like seeing what other authors were doing. Like I totally can see her manipulating the ending in that way, or being peer pressured into doing it. But I feel like it's not something she hated. Like I don't think she hated how it ended, but it definitely probably wasn't something she wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess it's true. It's not fair for me to like put that on the author, because we don't know.
I mean,
but
you probably are right.
I think the biggest reason why I thought that was it seemed like each sister was an archetype.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden Jo just wasn't that archetype anymore, but the rest of the sisters stayed the same.
Oh,
so it just felt a little like out of place for that to be a thing. Like Amy was always going to grow up and be rich and get married to someone rich, and she did that. Meg was always going to marry someone poor, have kids, but like find richness in other things than money. And then Jo was going to be the one who would go off and work and support her sisters, and then she just like wasn't that anymore. You know what I mean? Like it totally felt like a weird pivot.
Yeah, like she changed more than the others. I think her change was more drastic, but I do think Amy changed, because at the end,
she does change.
At the end, she was like, "I would have married you if you were poor, and if you but you are handsome." Yeah, that was like the funny thing. Yeah, she was like, "I may not brag about your money, but I will brag about that you're handsome," or something like that. But it was interesting because like Lori had made a comment about. Because it was like Amy testing to see if Lori was jealous. Yeah. With Bear. And he was like, the only thing is I just wish he was younger and had more money to provide for her. Yeah. And literally that's it. Like I'll dance at their wedding and all that. And Amy was put at ease because of that. But then she like told him like age and like money like doesn't matter as long as it's like you're being taken care of and you're loved and your needs are met or whatever. And I was like, that's big of you, Amy. Yeah. So that's like, they all changed in very small ways. And Jo was like, that is pretty drastic. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I could have been reading too much into it.
But. Also, especially if she's Jo. Like, she kind of bases the character off of Jo.
That could be the other thing what I'm thinking of.
Did she have, like, dreams that pivoted? Or was it just, like, or maybe she, like, I really identified with Jo's, like, because there's that chapter that's, like, loneliness. And it's, like, all about, like, Jo, like, feeling lonely.
My opinion could have swayed when I started doing research into the author. And, like, maybe I've blended Alcott too much with Jo in my head. Yeah. And that could be what's going on, because they kind of do feel like the same person to me.
I think she wrote it that way, though.
And so, like, I think there is a part of me that makes me a little sad that if she is Jo, she couldn't keep herself as Jo and like actually follow her life. Yeah. That could be honestly what it is.
I like that.
Maybe I'm realizing where my thoughts are coming from.
I like that read. You guys should let us know what you think. I like that a lot though.
Going back to how we usually actually start these things.
Yes.
You've read it for the first time.
Oh, yes.
What did you think?
I loved it. I loved it so much. I think some people would find it boring.
Yeah. I could see that.
Like, I can see some people finding it boring, but I just love the characters so much. I could read all about them all day, every day.
They're just so charming.
I know.
And you love them.
It just is such a magical world. Her writing just flows really well. It's just pretty writing. Like, it's the kind of book that you want to read aloud because it just is so pretty when you read it. Like, the way she describes things, her humor is so good. Like, her humor,
she's so funny.
Like, what she just says quirky things that is hilarious. And so I think one of them was talking about Lori and how Lori had changed. And she's like, there's a new manager in town. And it was like, it's because, like, he's married to Amy. And I just thought that was such a funny way to put that. Or, like, Daisy and Demi, Meg's children, like, got into sweets or something. And they were like the little sinners. Like, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, it was just, she's just so funny.
She is funny.
So I really enjoyed the wit and the language, and it was just a pretty book to read. Yeah. And I'm really glad we chose it during, like, fall. And, like, I feel like it was such a good book for November. And also because it just is such a cute book about family. And I know that this can be hard for people that have, like, pretty broken families or, like, I don't know. I think it could be hard. But you think of, like, Lori is kind of an example of that. And then coming into a family and, like, seeing, like, oh, like he's not related to them, but he's able to be a part of this little community that really loves each other. I really identified with the mom in some parts. Not as, like, a person, but, like, in the things that she was working on. Like, she's like, I'm angry nearly every day of my life. Yeah. And she's like, and the things that helped me was, like, her husband, like, her partner was very, like, patient. And Meg, like, she scolds Meg at one point. And sometimes I'm like, I don't agree with that. Yeah. And other times I'm like, because, like, I think, I can't remember what it was, but there was a time that Meg was kind of, I think she was so prioritizing her kids that she was like, that her husband didn't really feel like he was coming home. And the thing that the mom said was like, I can't even remember what it was exactly, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid that could be me. Like, where you're just, like, not even, like, there's different seasons of life, especially when you're, like, a parent or a new parent, but you still, like, I feel like people sometimes, like, put everything into their kids and then they forget about their spouse. And the mom was, like, warning Meg, saying, like, if you let that go too long, that's going to hurt you and your partner a lot. And she was like, oh, you're right. And so then she, like, made a plan to, like, prioritize her relationship again. And I was like, you know what? That was a good thing for me to read. Yeah. So there was just a lot of good wisdom. There was wit. There was humor. And it was just beautiful writing and story. And I loved the relationships and the sisterhood. And I feel like there was a lot of...
that's the best part.
I know. Like, I really do. Like, there are archetypes with each of the sisters. But I feel like as a reader, you're, like, noticing, like, what parts of you are in each of the characters. And I just, like, I was over at my parents' house the other day. And me and my sister grew up watching the old Winona Ryder one, which has, like, beautiful music. And every time we listen to it, we, like, cry. Because we're all out of the house except, like, she's my youngest sister. She just turned 18. And we just realized, like, everything's going to be different. Like, everything's different and things aren't going to be the same again like they were when we were all growing up. And it's so hard. And I feel like she has a lot of sentiments that Beth shows where it's like she didn't really have large ambitions like her sisters. And she just wanted to be home. I hate how Beth said it about herself. She was like, I just stupidly wanted this. And I was like, it's not stupid. Yeah. Like, she just wanted to be home. And she was like, she didn't need a lot to be content and happy. She just wanted her family. And that's how my little sister is. And I was, like, crying. I was like, oh my gosh. But I thought it was so good. And I enjoyed it. And I think this is going to be like an annual reread. And I'll let you know if I pick up on what Callie was kind of feeling as far as the ending. But cool. I loved it.
I'm trying to remember how I thought the first time I read it.
Yeah. Like, as a first-time reader, and then now, like...
honestly, the only thing I really remember was the whole thing you were talking about with Meg always kind of bugged me. So to set the scene a little bit, she just had twins.
Yes.
And one baby's a lot. Now have 2 babies.
Yes.
And Meg didn't want, she had set it up with her husband that she didn't want to bug her family too much and ask for too much. So she felt like she was very alone and like just super overwhelmed with these like 2 new babies, a husband who's going to work every day. And she like, I feel like it was, she needed support. And then she just wasn't really getting it.
Yeah.
And then, like, I agree with what you were saying.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, you know, there were things that bothered me too. But there were some things that I was like, and this was like further along in the book. It wasn't like right after they had babies.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Her mom was basically kind of, she was complaining to her mom that her husband wasn't around to help her with the kids after he came home from work, because he'd go off to his friends.
Yes, he would.
And that bugs me. Like, okay, why is it her problem that he's going off to his friends and not helping his wife?
Yeah.
But like, that's really the only thing I actually remember reading it for the first time. And I remember Amy being funny. So I probably just wasn't like in the right headspace to like read it and gather it. I thought it was just kind of boring. But reading it the second time, what sold me was after Amy burns Joe's book. That whole story is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like, because I thought it was cute and charming, and then that happens, and then I just was hooked.
Yeah.
I loved them so much. I thought it was so funny. It's such a sisterly thing to do, to go too far. But then you just you just forgive them.
Yeah. It's true. It's so true. And also like you do have those moments. Well, I don't know. At least I would. Not like dark, but like Joe knew Amy was coming onto the ice. Lori had just said, "Don't go out in the middle," and she was like, "I'm not going to say anything."
Yep.
And I'm like, that's also a sibling thing to do.
It is.
Like, at least in my horrible youth, and
It's okay.
Not that my youth was horrible, but I was horrible. But that's so, I love that. It's so good. The dynamic is real, and you can tell she was definitely pulling from experience.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
She grew up with all sisters. So, okay. Do you want to talk about the themes now? Or
yes,
I have some things written down. I don't really care which direction we go in.
Okay, yes. So, and I can give like an example. This, like going into this read, I was like just like picking up on kind of like, what do you feel like is the theme? And I feel like it's going to be subjective as a reader to you. There probably is an objective answer as far as like what Alcott was doing.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it was, she wrote this. It's similar to like, what they said about Joe, like what the dad said about her writing. Like she was writing very sensational stories, but the dad was like, just write something that you like, just something that's fun, and just like enjoy it. Because he could tell like she was lonely and she was grieving Beth still. And that was really cute. Like the father's relationship with Joe and how that evolved was really sweet. But he was just like, just write something for fun. And when she wrote something for fun, she was pulling from her life experience. So I feel like that's what Alcott did. She was having fun because she was writing something that came easy to her.
Yeah.
My thing is, when I was reading it as a reader, I felt like a lot of it was centered around this idea of like what it means to be rich. I love that.
That's what I got from it too.
Like, what does it mean to be rich in life? And like so much of it is like, oh, like if I had this, like there's always like, what am I lacking? And Joe is like, I just love it because like when they're all lazy when Marmy's gone, which also
that was so funny.
Like it was so funny. Like they were all so lazy, but I also would be like, I would have major sibling guilt though because Beth got sick because of it.
Yeah.
Like Beth got sick because they weren't helping, and like the person that could have helped that had scarlet fever, Joe, she wouldn't have gotten sick. And like
and Meg,
Meg and Joe would have been fine, and Beth wouldn't have ever gotten sick. But so I would have major sibling guilt. But that whole scene is so funny because it's like showing each of their tendencies as people, and they're all like, if I had this, what am I lacking? Like, and Meg is always like wanting to fit in with like everybody else. And how she, like her dress, like what like her dresses look like, and I thought that was really interesting. There's like a greedy level there, and then Amy just wants to be great and Jo, she just wants to read her books and like write. And so I felt like all of them had very different ideas of like being rich. And then at the end of it, all of it like summed up with like what the mom said and saying like, this is my greatest happiness. And it was her family. Mm-hmm. So like being rich was like so different to everybody when they were younger. And as they got older, like it developed and it ended up being like, you just need your basic needs met. Like you're fed, you have a roof over your head, and you have the people you love around you. And I was like, that's so sweet.
I know. And I liked how they each had different, like outlooks on money. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like Jo wanted money because she wanted to support her family.
Yes.
Amy wanted money so she could have the tools to become great.
Yes.
And Meg wanted like monetary things, like pretty dresses, a nice house, maids.
How people perceived her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like Beth was the only one who just like got it from the beginning.
Yeah. Like she was content with life until everyone was like leaving. Mm-hmm. And that was the most heartbreaking moment, was when she was like, even in heaven, I'll be homesick for you. Mm-hmm. That was so like, I'm like, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. Like, she's like, I just watched oh man, I'm going to be emotional. I just like watched everybody leave in the house and I'm home alone. And now I'm going to be alone still. Mm-hmm. And like, but I'm the one moving forward. Mm-hmm. And she's like, just know that I'll still be homesick for you. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. Anyways, I love Little Women, you guys. Yeah. It's like, honestly, everyone needs to read this book. Like we talked about last time. Like, it shouldn't just be women reading Little Women, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, men, you will get it if you read Little Women in some way. You will get it, I feel like. And also, like, you have Lori. You have, like, healthy masculinity in there.
I love Lori.
Like, oh my goodness, I know. He, like, is such a good friend to them. Or, like, brother, essentially. He, like, becomes, like, a brother to them. But it's such a good book. I love the dad. The dad is awesome. I love Bear. Bear is funny. John's great. Well, like we talked about, like, don't go and hang out with your friends when your wife just had twins.
I always just kept having to remind myself that this was written in the 1800s.
Yes. But the thing is, what's so funny is people still do that.
This is true. This is true.
I'm like, come on, you guys.
Come on, guys. Step up.
Yes. Like, literally, you take care of her so she can take care of your babies.
This is true.
That is your job.
This is true.
Anyways, you got similar vibes of, like, as a theme.
Yeah, a lot of monetary things. The other thing I was thinking about when I was reading it was I love the movie so much.
Yes.
That I just, like, can't help but compare it to the movie. It was something that I, like, just couldn't separate.
Yeah.
And I usually try to separate things like that, like when I read Harry Potter or, like, Hunger Games.
Because it's, like,
I usually try to isolate
perception.
it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this one, I feel like Greta Gerwig did, and I haven't seen the old one, so I don't know, the Winona Ryder one, but I feel like Greta Gerwig just did such a good job at embodying 100%. Each character.
I agree.
That, like, even if, like, the different like things got cut out, it didn't really bug me. For example, one of the first times you meet Lori and he's trying to study.
Yes.
Or he's not trying to study.
Oh, and Amy shows up?
She's like, what is it? What did she say?
Oh, she's like, teacher hit me.
Uh-huh. But he has his foot up. And it's so dramatic.
Yeah.
And when I watched the movie, I always wondered why he
opened
did that
way.
Why wasn't he just sitting down with a book and he was just looking out the window? I was like, why does he have to be standing like that?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put a picture or screenshot of something here, because I was always like, why is this happening? It's so dramatic. And then it moves to Amy and it's really funny. So like that didn't. So I was always like, why? But then reading it, I'm like, that's just Lori. Lori is just such a dramatic character. Yeah. But I love him. That's why him and Jo get fight, but are also best friends.
And him and Amy work so well. That's so funny.
Like, he just meets their energy.
Yeah, he totally does.
That's just an example of how each character is embodied so well. But I feel like there were a couple things that were different that I thought was interesting. Why that would have been changed.
I'm trying to remember. I thought that was different, though. That was a different thing, because in the book...
Yeah, that is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that is different, though, because, like, when they meet Lori, it's not because, like, Amy didn't know where to go. Because Amy, like, went home.
It would make more sense for Amy to go home than go to Lori.
Yeah. I think in the movie, no one was home, and that's why she did it. Because I think Jo was at her aunt's, and then Marmee was gone. I don't know.
I don't remember, if I'm being honest. But like the other really clever things that I thought she did in the movie was one of the other funniest parts of the book is when Amy has like kind of grown into this young woman, and she's described as very beautiful, very put together. She's like the most womanly out of all of them.
Yes.
And she's like on her art escapade to become the best. And she goes to this party and she's trying to present as someone who just like has it all, right? But she brings Jo with her, which was her downfall.
Yep.
And there's this moment where Jo's trying to be so good and like just be sociable for Amy. And she describes how Amy was so creative that she painted her shoes blue.
Yeah.
And Amy was so mad. She's like, no, you can't say that because that shows we don't have money. And that's not in the movie, but in the movie at the beginning, Amy at one point runs up and she's like, look, I painted my shoes blue. And it's like super fast. Yeah. It lasts like a second and they're all talking over each other, but I loved those extra little details.
I know.
Like there was no room to put in that scene in the movie. Yeah. And there really wasn't a need for it, but she still added in that Amy painted her shoes blue. So like they each, like she still captured that. So I really appreciate that. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that adaptation was incredible because I think she does what you did where you blur Alcott and Jo.
Yeah.
And I actually really liked that. I didn't get it. After reading the book, hindsight, the movie, I'm like, wow, like she did a really good job adapting that because it has that open ending of like, well, this is what the book did. I don't know if that's what Alcott wanted.
Yeah.
And so this is what it could have been if it wasn't Jo having a family, you know. And I really liked that. But also, she did an incredible job at like, what she said, it's kind of like an orchestra with sounds. Like you have to cue each person while they're talking over each other. Yeah. And when you read the book, you kind of get that vibe. Also, I like how she kept a lot of the dialogue the same, like between the characters. Like, that's your way, Jo. When, like we gotta have it out. That's from the book. Everyone, like, you know, those like cringy videos of guys quoting Lori in like Little Woman in that scene. That's not, they don't do it in some of the other adaptations. And like, I felt like they did a really good job. Kind of, I don't know. I felt like they were very true to the authenticity of the characters, even if they either aged them up differently or like, I thought the adaptation for Bear was great. Yeah. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do a French guy who's younger. Yeah. And so that way when he comes in and everyone's like in shock because they're like, oh, someone likes Jo. What? like you kind of get that instead of it like being a 40-year-old German man. Yeah. It's like this young French guy, and they're like, oh. Oh. So I thought that was funny.
They call him the professor.
Yeah. So I was like, I get what you're saying, where it's like hard to compare because you know, like that's an adaptation coming from,
and it's Greta Gerwig's adaptation of it. Yeah, it's like her translation of the book. Yeah. So,
which people get upset about because they're like going to Lord of the Rings, like Peter Jackson, he wasn't doing just like his perspective. Obviously, as an artist, you're going to bleed in your perspective. Yeah. But for the most part, he was trying to be very integrous to what he thought Tolkien would like interpret it as. Whereas I feel like Greta Gerwig was more loose and she was like, no, because like this is her movie. Yeah. And so she's going to, she like obviously isn't going to scrap out like the beautiful parts of the book, but she's going to do it from how she interpreted the book.
I feel like it's kind of like if Jane Austen saw the new Persuasion movie nowadays, she would like it, and because it was funny.
People have beef if I said that though.
We have said it. We said it in our video.
And I'm like, I literally think she would. I think she would too. She is so funny, she's like, she was the woman that would like makeup stuff. And like, I don't know, I feel like she would think it was funny that Persuasion was like melting like modern day generational like language. Like, he made me a playlist.
Yep.
I think that's freaking hilarious.
I think if Alcott was alive, she would like the movie.
So I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's not true to like how the book was, but at least the author probably enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If they were alive.
This is true.
I love that.
So when I was doing research into Alcott, I was thinking a lot about how Greta Gerwig added in the 2 alternate endings. Yeah. So you had the ending that was bright and colorful that matched like the childhood tones. If you haven't seen the movie, when they're kids, it's like pretty and colorful. And then when it cuts to them as adults, because it jumps betwing timelines, it's not linear. It's cooler tones because it's the same actors throughout. They don't like change the actors. So that's really the only way to tell the age. I think it's super clever. Some people didn't like it. Anyways, but
some people said it was confusing, and I was like, I don't think it was.
At the very, very end of the movie, there's 2. You could look at it as one ending, just 2 different times. I interpret it as 2 separate endings. So in the book, there's that moment where Joe's talking to her dad, and her dad's like, just write what you like. But unless I missed it, there wasn't really another mention of Joe writing.
Nope.
She just got married and like opened the school, and then but she never continued writing. And I was like, that's what Joe wanted to do.
They mentioned it. They did mention it though later.
Did she? But was it like
it was like saying that she hadn't been writing, but she wants to write.
Yeah, it still felt I was still a little sad about it.
I would
like
be too.
Her dreams can change. Yeah. Dreams do change. But I feel like I was a little sad when that wasn't like
because that's like fully her spark. Like that's her theme. That's like what makes her happy.
Yeah, like why doesn't like that could still be part of her life. So like in the movie you've got the pretty ending where she's like open the school, and then there's the cooler ending where she's talking to the publisher and she's like, okay, here's my book. And she's negotiating, right? I think they're 2 separate endings. I think Gerwig was either like, I think in the book we're gonna follow how she like had a family, all that kind of stuff. But I also think really she would have just wanted to become a writer. Yeah. But I was like, okay, interesting. How valid is that though? Yes. Like I like it, but like why did she put that in there? So I found Alcott's journals and nice. I have written down a couple things from it. Let's see here. So I'll link the journals and everything. So this is November 1st. I don't know what year. It doesn't have the year. It just has that it was on November 1st. It says, November 1st, began the second part of Little Woman. I can do a chapter a day, and in a month, I mean to be done. A little success is so inspiring that I now find my marches sober, nice people as I can launch into the future. My fancy has more play. Girls right to ask who the little woman marry, as if that was the only end and aim of a woman's life. I won't, she like capitalized it, I won't marry Joe to Lori to please anyone.
There you go.
And let's see here.
Well, because I'm sure everybody wanted him. I wanted her to marry Lori when I was a kid watching the movie. I was like, why didn't you just say yes? Get married? Like, Lori's the best. You guys are so cute.
Let's see here. And
that was a huge thing in the movie and like as a kid. And even reading the books now, I'm like, how do you not love Lori? Like, how do you not feel like a romantic love towards this boy? Like, it just literally doesn't in my head. Like, I feel like, because I feel like that's how I ended up with the person I am with now, is like, we were like really, really good friends.
Yeah.
And it just worked out that way. So me seeing someone with like a best friend that's a guy and they just get each other, not fall in love, I'm like, when you see those movies where you're like, how do these actors not fall for each other? Or when you watch the ice skating videos and you're like, how are they not married? Like there's just such like so intimacy and there's chemistry. And I'm like, how does that work? And so like growing up, I literally am like, how does Joe not love Lori in that way? But the thing is, in the end, Lori didn't really love her in that way either. Yeah. Because he saw Amy as like a woman. Yeah. And then it, like with Joe, I think it was just, he just got along with her so well. I don't know. I don't know. And
well,
he wanted to
please
kind of
her.
Love. I don't know.
Yeah.
So who knows?
So if you keep going with the journals, she doesn't ever explicitly say this, but I kind of get the sense she like created Bear to appease this crowd that wanted Joe to be married.
Poor Bear.
do you think Jo will ever finish her book? Like in the book, do you think Jo will like sit down and write it? That's what I kept thinking. I was like, would she?
Not with like how they ended it.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe when she's older, she would like finally finish it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that makes me sad. That kind of makes me really sad. But then then again, what is she writing for? You know?
That's true.
I think for a while writing was a way that she liked writing and she was good at it, and but she was also doing it for money.
Yeah.
But then eventually she was writing because she loved it, and like if she wasn't still writing, I think, and it was like something on the back of her mind, I think she eventually would.
Yeah.
Because it's something that she just likes doing and wants to do. But I think it became less of a career, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
I found another, it's a book. This is not an article. It's way too long to be an article.
Yeah.
But they wrote it in response to, I'll link this also.
Yes. Interesting.
It's called Louisa May Alcott, Dreamer and Worker, A Story of Achievement by Belle Moses. This is basically, she wrote this in response to reading Alcott's journals.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, talking about Little Woman, the book, it is a simple story of simple girls bound by a beautiful tie of family love that neither poverty, sorrow, nor death could sever. 4 little pilgrims struggling onward and upward through all the difficulties that beset them on their way. That is all just the story of their lives, their daily struggles, their joys, and their sorrows. But what girl among millions who have pored over the book could read them unmoved? How many ambitions have been spurred by Jo's struggles and difficulties and by Amy's artistic efforts? How many little crickets on the hearth have chirped the sweeter for dear little Beth's sunny influence? How many homes have been made the happier by Megs who have graced them? And they were not always turtle doves like the good little storybook children. Jo and Amy, the 2 high tempers of the family, and many a squabble, and Little Woman records probably the most serious quarrel of their young lives in the chapter where Jo meets Apollyon. I never actually figured out how to say this. Apollyon. I think that's when she burns the book.
Oh, okay.
But I loved this is a book, a simple story of simple girls bound by a beautiful tie of family love. I thought that was so cute. So the kind of point of why I have that in there also is I feel like in my journey, having a hard time with Jo's story and how it ended in the book.
Yeah.
I was like, exactly what you were saying. Why was it written? What was it written for?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was written for.
Mm-hmm.
I think she wanted to write real stories.
Yeah.
And it is a real story for someone to fall in love, and then their dreams do change.
Mm-hmm.
So Jo, me as a reader, am sad that Jo might not write her story, but Jo herself, she might be so happy that she has her school for boys.
Yeah,
that's her new dream. That's what's fulfilling her now. That writing once did.
Yeah, and maybe writing still is, but she found something else that made her life feel fulfilling.
Yeah.
But also that writing is what got her through Beth's death, and the fact that everyone else was wanting to have a family, and she just had other goals at that time.
I think I'll always have a little bit of
bitter,
a
bitter feeling.
But I get it.
Yeah,
and I don't not like it.
I sometimes I don't know. I think it can be frustrating though, because I'm oh man, I don't know, because it is what you said. She kind of was this archetype. And if you still are feeling that way, it feels like Jo's moved on and left you to be the Jo still. And so you're just, I don't know. But I think Little Woman is so good. And as I was reading it, I was like, Grayson, you have to read this.
you have to read this.
And he was like, okay, I will read this.
Okay.
So I'm like, it is so good. Okay. Oh, do you want to do best poem?
I was about to say, unless you have anything else,
no.
I want to wrap up the episode with best poem.
It
because
needs to.
This is probably my favorite part of the whole book.
Yes, mine too.
And I might cry. It's okay. It might be with Hunger Games, so I have to pack it over.
It's more emotional when you're saying it. If it was I think if I was saying it, I would choke up. But I feel if you read it, I can control myself.
And it's a little long, so hopefully you guys don't mind my reading voice. It's a page.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Beth is the best. Also, I didn't know her name was Elizabeth.
I never thought about it either.
Her name was Elizabeth. Elizabeth, and they would call her Beth or Betsy, and I was like,
Aw.
what the heck?
Or like Joe's Josephine.
Yes.
Meg is
Margaret.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, like, these are weird nicknames. And Amy's just Amy.
Amy's just Amy.
Anyways.
She's just her.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see here. So Joe wrote this. My Beth. Sitting patient in the shadow till the blessed light shall come, a serene and saintly presence sanctifies our troubled home. Earthly joys and hopes and sorrows break like ripples on the strand of the deep and solemn river where her willing feet now stand. O my sister, passing from me, out of human care and strife, leave me as a gift those virtues which have beautified your life. Dear, bequeath me that great patience which has power to sustain a cheerful, uncomplaining spirit in its prison house of pain. Give me, for I need it sorely, of that courage wise and sweet, which has made the path of duty green beneath your willing feet. Give me that unselfish nature, that which charity divine can pardon wrong for lovers' dear sake, meek heart, forgive me mine. Thus our parting daily looseth something of its bitter pain, and while learning this hard lesson, my great loss becomes my gain. For the torch of grief will render my wild nature more serene, give to life new aspirations, a new trust in the unseen. Henceforth, safe across the river, I shall see forevermore a beloved household spirit waiting for me on the shore. Hope and faith borrow my sorrow. Guardian angels shall become, and the sister gone before me, by their hand shall lead me home.
That's so cute. I'm just kidding. I can't control myself. Oh,
I think that's just so beautiful. Like, first of all, the writing is amazing.
I know.
It reads so well, if we're just going to talk about it technically. But I love, because I think, like, we talk about all the rest of them a lot, but I think Beth truly is the best out of all of them because she had every quality that Alcott was trying to teach each other sister. Like, I think Meg's was you need to be just more, like, outwardly looking. She was so in on herself, how she looked, what she needed.
What they didn't have.
What she didn't have. And I think, like, that's what her mom was trying to teach her. Like, you need to also look to your husband, your partner. And I think with Joe, she needed to be more meek. And, like, that was a big thing. She needed to be more meek and just kind of, like, I don't know what the other word is. And then, like, Amy.
I guess her thing is she wanted to be great.
Yeah.
And, like, if she couldn't be great, she couldn't be anything.
Yeah, but she doesn't have to be great. She already is great. And I think Beth kind of already understood all of that. And she was so unselfish and just so kind. And I think that Beth, for the point of the story.
Yeah.
I don't want to say her point was to just, like, die. But I also think that was a lesson for the other girls that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
you
so
have
too.
to cherish this light that you have next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's gone, it's going to hurt. Beth is just the best one.
No, I totally.
We should all be like Beth.
And the part where it was like, she's just so sweet and, like, giving despite being imprisoned by her, like, body. Like, she
got sick and then just never got better.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be emotional about this because, like, Beth was dealt a sucky hand in life. And she, like, handled it with grace. And it's okay to be mad. Yeah. Like, Beth was mad. Yeah. She was mad she was going. But she wasn't, like, outwardly, like, yelling or, like, I don't know, like, she knew it sucked, but she just was like, I can't do anything about it, so this is how I'm going to handle it. And it reminds me of, like, my grandpa. He was dealt Parkinson's, and he didn't choose that, but he didn't choose to, like, complain or raise his fist at life. Like, he just did his best with what he could and literally, like, left such a legacy for us to follow, kind of like Beth with her sisters. So, like, in a way, Beth, like, lives on in the sisters because they've learned how to be content with, like, their lives, with what they have.
Yeah.
And I was just going to bring this up in the play version of Little Women. My family went to go see this earlier this year. That was, like, my dad's, like, Christmas present for all of us. Was like, you guys go and watch Little Women together. And in Little Women, they do a really good job symbolizing Beth's death. When she's dying or, like, going away, it's kind of symbolized in a kite. They have this song called Fly Away. And Beth is, like, singing this to Joe, and they're, like, flying kites. Oh, and Her also talking about like her leaving like is like the tide going out. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Anyways, I need to pull up these lyrics because they're really good. It's called Some Things Are Meant to Be, but like I think the chorus like is talking about their kites or whatever because they're flying kites when this is happening. And then it's so sad, like in the theater when you're watching this, the kite flies up to the sky, and that's like symbolic of Beth like dying, and you're like crying watching this performance. Okay, so it's when you were first born, not an hour old. I told Marmee, Beth is mine. Everyone has someone special in the world, and I have you, my sweet Beth. Give me a task to do. Let's pretend we're riding on a kite. Let's imagine we're flying through the air. We'll ascend until we're out of sight. Light as paper, we'll soar. Let's be wild, up high above the sand. Feel the wind, the world at our command. Let's enjoy the view and never land, floating far from the shore. Some things are meant to be, the clouds moving fast and free, the sun on a silver sea, a sky that's bright and blue. And some things will never end, the thrill of our magic ride, the love that I feel inside for you. We'll climb high beyond the break of day, sleep on stardust, and dine on bits of moon. You and I will find the Milky Way, we'll be mad and explore, we'll recline aloft upon the breeze, dart about, sail on wit with ease, pass the days doing only as we please. That's what living is for. Some things are meant to be, the tide turning endlessly, the way it takes hold of me no matter what I do, and some things will never die, the promise of who you are, your memories when I am far from you all my life. I've lived for loving you. Let me go now. And then she lets go of the kite, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Anyways, Little Women, you guys. We couldn't recommend it more, obviously, but I do think it's like that scene from The Friends where is Beth died? Did Beth die?
Beth is really sick, isn't she? And she's not getting better. You want to put it in the freezer?
Yeah. Yeah, literally. That's what we all want to do because Beth is like probably one of the best characters.
Her and Marmee.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my. Also, because Marmee is like literally a mesh of all her daughters. I feel like, because she also was like Meg in a lot of ways, and then Joe's temper and like Amy's ambitions, and like, but like ultimately achieved what Beth already is. Yeah. But anyways. I will never recover.
I was like, I don't know how to continue.
I don't either. I think we're just gonna have to end
segue.
This. Oh, I guess we have to talk about the book for next month.
I was about to say, I don't know how to segue. Well, that was it. Next month.
Next time, folks. I mean, that's all, folks, or
that's
whatever.
All, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Well, what are we reading next month?
You guys, it's gonna be so magical. Magical winter time is upon us. December. Oh yeah, I've been like driving around and like I see people's Christmas trees up. I love it. I don't know if your family is like that.
We do the day after Thanksgiving.
That's what we do. But sometimes it's just I get it. Like there's just not enough time to enjoy that magic season.
That's true.
But of this magic season, we will be reading C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Very Christmassy.
Very Christmassy. Need a C.S. Lewis in here. Come on.
Yeah.
We've read Tolkien. C.S. Lewis has a ton of really great books, which we can highlight in our like intro to the author. But we're super pumped. And we're going to do something kind of different in December, where usually we do like one episode of like a backstory of like the author and the book, the impact of the book. We're going to combine this episode, so prepare to, it's a really quick read too. So we're going to, our first episode will be spoiler, and then our second episode is going to be kind of a fun recap of the year and what you can expect in the new year.
Yeah. And then have we decided, are we just going to do The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or are we going to do the other ones? Because, see, here's my thing. I didn't know this, but The Magician's Nephew wasn't published until later.
Oh, okay.
And I almost think we should read it in publication order versus
the chronological.
Yeah, because I feel like C.S. Lewis in the prequel just assumes that you already know what's going on. Right. So I think I usually feel like you appreciate the prequels if you already know the story. Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
Or else it's kind of boring.
Yes.
So I don't know. Did we decide? We're just gonna do The Lion, the Witch, or should we just read it and then we'll let you know?
I think what we should do is viewers' discretion. Like, just kidding. But I think it would be fun if we could marathon read these books.
They're not long.
They're not long at all. And they're all really good.
Yeah.
They're all really
I've
good.
never read them.
They are, I really enjoy them. And they're so fun. Like, if you have kids, like, it's a fun thing to read to your kids. If you don't have kids, it's a fun thing to just read on your own. So maybe, yeah, like, let's read them all. If you guys can only read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, that's fine because we'll give you all the lore.
Yeah.
If you want the lore. It will be spoiler filled. If you don't, just enjoy The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I'm kind of sad I know how it ends, though. Like, the whole series. I wish I didn't.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember, and I read all of them.
Us as a group in high school, I think you guys were talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I spoiled it.
This is, well, I spoiled it, but what's crazy is I forgot. I don't know how it ends. I might read it and remember,
okay.
but I'm sorry that sucks. You didn't read it. You remember the spoiler. I spoiled it, but I don't remember.
I think you had just assumed that I had read it.
Oh.
I don't think I said anything. So it's okay. It's not your fault. I didn't say
sad?
anything. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
What happens? I literally don't remember. I can't remember. Okay, we're going to have to see. But I love A Whoresome's Boy and The Silver Chair. Those are my favorite ones.
I'm excited.
So we're excited to share Christmas time with C.S. Lewis.
We did Charles Dickens last year, right?
Oh, and that was so good.
Now we're going to do C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
It was like a good company.
I think so.
Anyways, thank you for listening to us. Sorry for crying.
Yeah.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.